What would be some frustrations that you have observed that people typically have in tech?
Well, I'll speak as somebody who offers the service and also as a customer.
Okay.
As somebody who offers the service, as a system owner, everybody is kind of my customer, because if the power that comes to their computer or the experiment that they're running goes down, I have to let them know why. There is an explanation to be given. The frustrations that we experience in tech, it depends on which tech you are in. Some tech company allow for thinking out of the box. Some tech company, as I mentioned before, you have to stick within the box. You have to just do as the elders have done. One of the things that I hear a lot in tech is, this is how it has been done. Now, I'm not talking company like Amazon, like Apple or Google. I'm talking about the big tech companies that actually have manufacturing, and this is how it's been done. And allowing very little innovation to occur, and then getting caught by surprise when somebody else does it. And now you become a follower. So that's one of the frustrations that happens in tech that I see a lot of my peers experience. You are kind of dismissed to the side. This is how it's been done. You see that idea being implemented, then you become a follower, not a leader.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
In my former job, it was more to sustain. A lot of sustaining used to happen. So you were not very encouraged to think outside the box.
I see.
Because we want to maintain stability, the comfort that things are going to work, because this is the way they're done.
So you were talking about, the stability, the cost of innovating and creativity. It comes at a cost. That's what you were talking last.
Yes. So when we start thinking out of the box, we are rapidly reminded that if there is any impact, then the question will be, why didn't you follow procedures? Sometimes we are so bound by the procedures that were written before us that we might not be looking into, what if I did this differently? What would happen? That we are not given amplitude to practice, maybe not on a live system, but to just have that flexibility to practice in a scenario where you choose a different path than what is in the procedure. So most of the time it's like it's a tried on method. It works just fine. No need to change it. So that discourages a little bit of, maybe we should look at it differently. Maybe what wasn't this stuff? So you come in and you're told this is the way it's been done, and that's it. So those are the challenges that I have encountered myself. And also not looking the part. For certain job, people still expect to see somebody who looks a certain way. So when you show up yourself in some field, you will encounter that the majority that is there practicing skill are people who have been there for 30, 40 years, and people who know these systems by head, by memory, they dream about it. And then you show up as a new engineer with fresh idea, with your thinking out of the box. And so you have to prove your competence, try to prove yourself more than other people. And second of all, what does this person know? Just fresh out of college, we have been doing this a little bit more. And there's a lot of barriers that you might encounter. It's not just gender-wise, race-wise. There's just a lot of things, which company you came from. And those are the things that for women of color, women in general, we do experience as frustration in tech.
That's a very important thing, not looking the part. What has been some of your learnings? If you were to advise other people who are coming in, what would you advise them how to approach it, how to lead themselves? What's your advice to them?
My humble advice is always that get a mentor. Get somebody that has done it, somebody who has demonstrated that they are interested in developing other people. Get a mentor is very important. A mentor that you have a plan where there's some date that you talk about your technical growth, your career path. And there's some date you just talk about, your experience, your day-to-day, what you experience as a person. But both situations, you need a mentor just to try and coach you and advise you and talk about what they have seen. Because sometimes we can react to something emotionally. and not remain to facts. And sometimes we don't know better. We were not taught some of these things in school ourselves, in situation where you're like, oh, this is the way things are. So get yourself a mentor and be prepared in every situation. Don't take anything for granted. You have a meeting, get prepared for it. You have a presentation, get prepared. Present to somebody, get feedback. Don't take it lightly. A lot of people go by perception. Perception is very important. I mean, seems to be very important for people. The way you are perceived, it's important. Try to learn the lingo in order for it to make it easier for people to kind of accept you. Because to influence others, you have to be accepted. You have to be seen as somebody who's bringing something to the table. This requires the perception they have of you. It's not just of this rookie person, but this rookie person who actually knows what they're doing.
Is it right to say that the perception is perhaps not your reality, but you own your perception?
That's true. It's not your reality, but you own your perception. That's correct. I totally agree.
From what I'm learning from you is you cannot ignore it. You got to learn the lingo to be accepted and influenced. It sounds like you're not changing who you are. You're leveraging the other person's language to still connect with them what you want to bring to the table, right? You're not losing who you are.
That's correct. I'm not an advocate in changing who you are, because sooner or later it's going to break you. Just learning how that can best work with your personality, with your career goals and your growth. The best way you can communicate is by trying to learn the language of the culture in which you are, in order to be impactful, in order to explain something to somebody so you are better understood. But always at heart to remain yourself, because even if you're a rookie, you bring something to the table. There is a reason why they employed you. They saw potential in you. They saw thinking out of the box. Vice president, president, or because at the lower level, they just want somebody who obeys the rule and does as they're told. I have a hard time with that, but that's what I heard.
Why do you think that is the case? What do you think drives such want or behavior?
I believe that at the lower level, we are expected to follow process. When you start, the easiest way to get to learn the job, just follow what has been done. The more you grow into your position, or the more you grow career-wise, the more levels you go up, then they want you to come up with something different. So at the bottom level, they just want to maintain status quo. It's like in economic, when you have the cash cows, and then you have the thing that impact the market. So at higher level, you have somebody who impacts the market. At lower level, you just want cash cows. People who come in, who maintain the status quo, something that you're going to sell. You know that you're going to sell and you're going to get some money from it. At the higher level, you want something a little bit more innovative, where you can ask more money for it. So I think that's what influenced this behavior.